We are live. Thank you so much for joining me for this live stream lesson. These live stream lessons from Ukulele Zen go public the first Sunday of every month. Thank you so much for joining me. We got some regulars in the house. So glad you're here. This lesson is going to be great for beginners, and it's also going to be great for anyone who wants to deepen their strumming practice. We are going to be exploring 6 great tips. These are great foundations for your ukulele strumming, and you can get this PDF right here. All these notes are available at a link down below. It's totally free, so when this lesson's over, or right now if you'd like to, you can go check out that link, and I hope that it serves you well. I have a lot of cool things to share in this lesson. When we have a solid foundation of our strumming, we can really grow into our music. So let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see me. I appreciate you joining me. I want to say hello to a few friends who are here, and I've just got a couple of very quick announcements to share. Hello, everyone. It's Haiti, so glad you're here. Don is in the house from Florida. We've got Barbara in the house. Hello. Fret Frontier in Windy City, Chicago is here. Lois Ann is in the house from British Columbia. I see we've got the Hudson Valley is in the house. Nancy is in the house from Northern California. Wow, some folks from Paris. Hello. Thanks so much for joining me. And Michelle, also from Paris. Appreciate you all joining in. Randall, thanks for being first in the room from Kona, Hawaii. I have some wonderful things to share in this lesson. We've got friends in from Cologne and Munich and Dusseldorf. Always great to have my German friends in the house. Thank you very much for joining me. So let's get into today's lesson. Michael, so glad you're here. I want to share with you these 6 powerful practice tips, things to keep in mind when you're learning to strum. If you're new to the ukulele, these are the kind of things you want to practice and just keep an eye on so you can really develop a good technique. And as we go deeper into these 6 tips, you're going to see that even if you've been playing for a long time, that it's really important to maintain connection to our foundations, to our fundamentals. This is really going to help us. We'll also play some tunes. I'm going to jot out some quick chord charts. So let me know if you can hear me, if the sound is good, and I'm going to just say a very, very quick announcement. Announcement 1, I already mentioned. You can get this for free at the link down below. It's a public post on my Patreon page. Thank you very much to everyone supporting on Patreon. So go download that now or later. Also want to let you know that in just over a month, my first public gig in 2.5 years is going to happen. If you can join me for 5 days, there'll be a 5-day retreat at the Omega Institute, 1 hour north of New York City. There are links in the description below. It's a fantastic place. Omega Institute is a world-renowned yoga and holistic retreat center. It's a real honor to be there. We go deep into our music. We learn so much about playing, about practicing, and the whole campus of Omega is an amazing place to be. You can learn all about it at the link down below. Lastly, I just want to let you know that if you missed my blues course about soloing, about pentatonic scales, jamming, and building your technique, there's a link down below. The course is available right now with a 20% discount through the whole month of May. So I hope if you're interested in that, go take a look at it. There's a link down below, and you can take advantage of that 20% discount. It's a really, really fantastic course. I've gotten a lot of good feedback. It comes with jam tracks, a whole bunch of great materials there for you. All right, and yes, Michael's going to be at Omega. Can't wait to meet you in person. We have an online relationship. We're going to take it to the next level, man. All right, after we're done with this lesson, we're going to have a brief mindfulness meditation, a simple practice to de-stress, harnessing the power of concentration, of breathing, of opening up our awareness to the present moment. It's a powerful practice and a simple practice that I'm going to share with you that you can benefit from. So let's get into today's lesson. 6 great strumming tips, all right? Now, as you begin to strum, and like I mentioned, even if you've been playing for a long time, you can always go deeper, okay? You can always go deeper into the skills you have. First thing is, being aware of where you're going to strum. Everyone right now, if you're watching this, you got a ukulele in your lap, let's experiment with the built-in tone knob that your ukulele comes with. Let me show you what I mean. If you take your C major chord and you strum back here at the bridge, get a very bright sound. Right back there at the bridge, the strings are tighter. You're having a more treble sound, a brighter sound, activating those upper harmonics. Now move your arm to the sweet spot where the neck meets the body. Get a really rich, full sound. And contrast those sounds. Begin to experiment with when you squeeze the fingertip and make it a little tighter, you get a slightly different tone. Just brush through the strings lightly, and you get a lot of different colors, a lot of different tones. If you bring your arm even further over the neck, you get an even more gentle sound. Right over the wood, sul tasto is the Italian word, right over the wood. All right, so let's just jam a little bit right here, and a quick exercise. This is fun to do and good for your tone production. Let's have a bright trebly tone on beat 1, and then the other beats will back off to the natural position. Let me show you what I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready? And it really helps to define where the strong beat is. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. And let's end right here. So this in itself is a really amazing thing about the strings. As you change your hand position, you get different tones. How to do that with ease is to pay attention to your arm position, right? Just let it glide across the neck gently. We're just taking a quick dip into each of these. You experiment on your own which tones you like and how you can use them, all right? Now, the sweet spot is usually going to be about halfway through the string length, okay? So the string is this long. It's from the nut to the bridge, and halfway through it is the sweet spot where you get a very rich, warm sound, okay? And in a moment, we're going to use this technique as we play through a simple folk song, and we will apply these different tones to our music. All right, friends, thank you for joining me. Let's move on to the next tip. If you're enjoying this so far, please give it a thumbs up and share this video with your friends. Speaking of thumbs up, let's try strumming with our thumb. A lot of people ask me in a lot of different comments, what finger should I use? Should I use my thumb? Should I use my index finger? What about the other fingers? It's really up to you. There's no wrong way to strum. It's just different tones, different effects that you can have. Now, the thumb is great for strumming because it has a naturally soft tone. So when you strum, if you brush the strings lightly with the flesh, you get a soft tone. And please stick around because I'm going to share with you a very cool technique for using thumb and index at the same time. But for right now, let's play with the C and the G7 chord. Okay, check this out. This is a song you've probably heard. It's an American folk song. A bar of C, 2 bars of C, a bar of G, another bar of G, a bar of C, another bar of C, a bar of G, and then C. Okay? So we're going to strum through this, okay, just using really whatever rhythm you want to play. You're just keeping a steady pulse going across the page, seeing the bouncing ball. Ready? 2, A 1, 2, 3, 4. C, G, G, 2, 3, 4. G, G, 3. C, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, C. Back to the beginning. Hey, hey, skip to my loop. Hey, hey, skip to my loop. Hey, hey, skip to my loop. Skip to my loop, my darling. One more time. Hey, hey, skip to my loop. Hey, hey, skip to my loop. Hey, hey, skip to my loop. Skip to my loop, my darling. Don't click away, friends. This is called a kid song. It's not a kid song. This is a roots song. This is a song from the deep South. A lot of what we label kids music is roots music. So when you learn these classic songs sung by children, in America at least, they're sung in other parts of the world as well, you learn a lot about harmony, a lot about singing, a lot about rhythm. I'm a big fan of multicultural folk songs for kids, being that I have a 2-year-old who's singing a lot with me these days. So what did we do there? Let's get back to the technique and then we'll come back to the tone. We're using our thumb and we're using it in a relaxed manner. In a moment we'll talk about the wrist in more detail, but for right now, just take your wrist and brush lightly, okay? And just find your own rhythm, okay? Find your own groove. This chord could be a G7 if you want, okay? Could be a G7 chord. And let's play through this some more, all right? What we're gonna do is we're gonna, if you wish, you can play the straight thumb strum, which is, you know, down, down, up, up, down. Try it with me. Down, down, up, down. If this feels easy to you, you can go deeper. You go deeper, check in with your shoulders. Are they relaxed? Check in with your breathing. Are you connected to it every once in a while? The deepest levels of musicianship I've discovered are doing simple things accurately with a relaxed feeling here, here, and in your playing apparatus. You dig? All right, so there's always deeper levels you can go to. Let's play through this, and if you want to go deeper, you can use this new technique. I'm going to show it to you right now. You pluck one string with your thumb, then strum with your index. Then you pluck one string with your thumb, and then you can strum with your index. Your index strums can be down and up strums, okay? And we'll take a few questions about things in just a minute. Check it out right here. A lot of ways this can be accomplished. You pluck one string, strum down. Pluck another string, down. You could always pluck the same string if you want. Or a different string. All right, so come on, let's play this a few times. We'll do it just a little bit faster. Let's groove. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, hey, skip it to my loop. Hey, hey, skip it to my loop. Hey, hey, skip it to my loop. Skip to my loop, my darling. I lost my partner, what'll I do? I lost my partner, what'll I do? Lost my partner, what'll I do? Skip to my loop, my darling. Hey, 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 skip to my loop. Hey, hey, skip to my loop. Hey, hey, skip to my loop. Skip to my loop, my darling. Fries in the buttermilk, flies in the buttermilk. Shoo, shoo, shoo. Flies in the buttermilk. Shoo, shoo, shoo. Flies in the buttermilk. Shoo, shoo, shoo. Skip to my loop, my darling. One more. Hey, hey. Skip to my loop. Hey, hey. Skip to my loop. Hey, hey. Skip to my loop. Skip to A quick jam, a quick exercise of using our thumb to strum, and to begin to explore using thumb, strum technique. I have several videos I've made about thumb, strum. If you click the channel icon below this video, you'll go to my channel page. There's a lot of videos that I've made over the years. And I hope you'll click subscribe. This morning, this channel hit 88,000 subscribers. Thank you very much for being a subscriber. Please click that subscribe button if you haven't already. There's great content available for you, helpful content. And by the way, a lot of it is more advanced. I also offer plenty of beginning level content like this, okay? Always a good idea to go back to the fundamentals. Let's take a few questions in the chat, and then we're going to move on to tip number 3. I wanted to say hello. Melanie, Patreon is not free. Patreon is a way that content creators can be supported by generous folks like you. It begins as low as $2 a month. If you pledge for an entire year, there's a 10% discount. There are different membership tiers with different perks. So members at the $5 tier, there's a special live stream Q&A the second Sunday of the month. Patrons at other tiers get chord solo lessons. There's a songbook. All the details are at the link below, okay? And for those who are wondering about the Omega Retreat, all the details are at the link down below, so check that out. Gavin, so glad you're here all the way from Ireland. Thank you very much. Trey, I'm looking forward to seeing you again in person at Omega. Michael, can't wait to meet you at the Omega Retreat. I'll offer some one-day retreats someday in the future. Okay, we got a question here from Barbara. I use my index all the time. Using my thumb is unfamiliar. I'm glad you used that word. It's unfamiliar. Nothing is hard. It's unfamiliar, right? Carrying a piano up 2 flights of stairs by yourself is hard, right? This is unfamiliar. You dig? It's kind of a mindset thing, of course. What's the benefit of using my thumb? The tone is different. And, there are a lot of different things you can do with the thumb. You don't have to, of course. It's optional. But one thing is what we just did before, where you can create bass line textures. And this works the same on a high G ukulele. Take a look. You do this. All right, so combining the thumb with your index or your other fingers is a way of creating melodic bass lines in a way with your chords. It's a cool effect. It also prepares you for playing solo pieces. Those of you who are members of the Patreon community who are at the chord solo level, you know that you received a chord solo lesson just this past month, a few weeks ago for Yesterday by the Beatles. So that whole solo can be played only with the thumb. So there's a lot of answers to the question, why to use the thumb, but it's also a gateway to playing chord melody. So it's a cool thing to exercise, and you may like to hang with it a little more. String recommendations. Really, strings are, whichever ones that you feel sound best. It all depends on your instrument. I personally like the Diodario ukulele strings, nylon strings. I also play some fluorocarbon strings. The strings on this custom ukulele are a mixture of classical guitar strings and jazz guitar strings. So I have some strange string combinations on this one, kind of unusual for ukulele. Let's get right into the next part, but one more question from Margaret. Glad to have you here, Margaret. How do you keep the low G string from resonating too loudly? Well, Part of it is just an awareness of how much weight you're pressing on this part of the string. This is a really good question. And it shows that you're listening really closely, which is good. All right. So as we strum, it's natural that we kind of meet the fourth string with a little more pressure. It's sometimes a good idea just to lighten up our touch, brush through all the strings evenly. Depending on the chord, you can also mute it either with the left hand or with this hand, okay? It all depends on the situation you're in musically, what song you're using. All right, let's move on to the next part of the lesson. If you're digging this so far, I hope you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you being here. Check the links down below. Tip number 3, this is an important one, moving from the wrist. And some of you have heard me say this before. It's really something to make a habit out of a relaxed motion from the wrist. And I'm going to show you a couple of games that you can play to train this, okay? Hold your hand out like this. Let's pretend we're strumming with our index or our thumb. Let's pretend that we're opening up a doorknob. You see the wrist moves. Sympathetic motion here, back in the elbow. And now let's just strum up and down the open strings. Our goal with this exercise is to cultivate a very relaxed touch across the strings. It's like you're brushing your fingers across a baby's face, and you're using the motion of the wrist to generate the fingers motion, okay? So just very lightly. Now I recommend as you practice this exercise, we're going to apply it to a song in just 2 minutes. But as you play this and you practice this, put space into your playing. So notice how I practice this. I do it a few times. And then I stop. I let the strings ring and I check in with how much tension have I gathered in the wrist. See? Very light. Now, you don't have to do this for hours. In fact, just do it for a few minutes before you begin to play any song, and it will put you in touch with that very, very light feeling in your wrist, very loose. Okay, so you're opening up a doorknob. That's the first game. The second game is the marionette game. Those of you who are coming to the Omega Retreat, you're in for a treat because we're going to do all kinds of cool games like this and improvisation games. Here's the marionette game. Pretend your hand is a puppet, all right? Pull it. And what this is it's training your wrist to be very, very loose. If you've ever seen a marionette puppet up close, you know that there are pins that move the different parts of the body. And that's essentially the way our body is set up to move as well. So try this. There's also a good party gag, or if you're ever playing out in person, you can pretend to connect to your leg and then, do little gags like that. It'll get a good laugh. But apart from the laughs, this trains your hand to be very, very loose. Okay, so rest your hand here and just get in touch with that light feeling. When your wrist is loose, strum for longer, faster. I want to teach you how to strum a little faster. All right, check it out. This is a little breakdown of some rhythm. We're going to start with the quarter note. Then we're going to move to the eighth note. And then we're going to double the eighth note. We're going to bypass the triplet just for today. We could talk about triplets another day. In fact, we have in other lessons. And the way we count this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So come on, 1, 2, 3. Do it on your open strings for now, just so you can stay connected to that loose feeling. If you're strumming hard, soften up your touch. Brush the air. There just happens to be some strings in the way. Okay? So come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go deeper. Tap your foot. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Ollie 1, 2, 3, 4. Phyllis, if it may have printed out black, it might be that you don't have a color printer. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take this as an opportunity to practice singing. All right? Singing and strumming at the same time, right? Breathe in deep and sing one note. Sing 2 notes. La, la. Sing 3 notes. La, la, la. Sing 4 notes. La, 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 la. Yeah, and release. Cool. We did a lot of things there. We kept a steady groove. We're connecting with that loose wrist. And we even did a little bit of singing. That was quick, of course. We could spend an entire lesson just freeing up our voice, opening up while we strum at the same time. Next, we double it with the 8th note. So check it out. Let's play a chord progression with this one. We're going to take our F chord, okay, F major, and our C7 chord, okay, C7 chord. All right, and the chord progression we're going to play is F, C7, and then we're going to play another 2 C7s, and then F. This is the chord progression for a very famous song, Jambalaya, famous Cajun party song. All right? Just to give our exercise a little structure, a little music to it. Okay, so we have the quarter note. 1, 2, 3. Now double it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and yeah. Now we're going to do this all together, and what I want to say to focus what we're paying attention to is we're paying attention to, are we staying relaxed in the wrist, okay? Is it feeling light when we double the speed? It's going to be really important because later we're going to double that speed to the 16th notes, okay? Here we go. Ready, 2, 1, 2, quarter notes. 1, 2. 8th notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and quarter notes. Then double it. Try going back and forth. I'll answer that question in a moment, John. Thank you. Keep it loose. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 is C7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and another C7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 back to F. One more time. F. 2. Keep it light. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. C7. 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and C7. 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and red F. 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Cool. That's the exercise. It's not necessarily the rhythm we would play with jambalaya, but what it does is it sets our practice habits up to always keep a relaxed wrist. Come on, let's move on to the next one, and then we're going to move on to tip number 4. We were counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now for the 16th note we count 1 E and A. And I know this is a little bit hard to read perhaps, writing over my shoulder. 1 E and A. 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A. All right? Or you could say Mississippi, 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 or Massachusetts, 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 Massachusetts. You know, you could say all kinds of different things. So, 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. That's what it's going to sound like. Before we play it, say it. If you can say it, you can play it. Will you say that with me? If you can say it, you can play it. It's the truth. So, here we go. Articulate it clearly. Ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and a 2E and a. Can you do this? 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and a 2E and a. Then you do this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Ready? Do it again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1. Are you still glad you came? I appreciate you being here. Come on. Just because it didn't show up perfectly the first time, that doesn't mean we give up, right? Practice is repetition. It's repetition with love. It's repetition with kindness. There is a link in the description below to a practice log. It's a practice journal. It's totally free. Use it, please. Consistency with our practice is key, okay? So check it out. Let's go a little deeper into what the heck is happening here. Well, we're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and what if we paid attention to the down strums only? You'd see that they double in speed. Watch. 1, down, 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 right? Focus on the downs. What sometimes happens is naturally we're trying to do something that's tricky. We're putting a lot of effort into it, and sometimes we're pushing a little too hard. We're connecting with the string a little too far up the fingernail, so just brush very, very, very lightly, okay? Come on, one more time, and then let's move on to the next tip, and we'll take a little break. And all of these are just suggestions, so you do them as it feels natural to you, okay? Are you ready? 1, 2, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Double speed. This is just a brief exercise regimen. Do this for a few minutes before you start playing, and you'll become much more solid on the divisions of the beat, okay? The beat is the quarter note, then we divide the beat in half, and then we divided it into 4 parts. 16th notes, the whole subject into itself. And the way they can be played, whether funky or, other kinds of rhythms. But this is the gateway, okay? I'm trying to give you the gateway. Are you enjoying this so far? Any questions? Danetta. I keep hitting the edge of the fretboard with the index fingernail. Yeah, that's common, totally. It happens to me too. Sometimes what we have to do is just brush only the top of the strings. Okay, so just bring some awareness to that. And I'm glad you asked that question, because it speaks to where are our eyes when we're learning something. Really important to use all the different sensory input. Some of you have heard me say this before. Definitely covered it in detail at the online course for the blues, where we're talking about using the different sensor portals to take the information in, to imprint it in our neural net. So when you use the sense of the eyes, just notice what you're doing and then make some adjustments, okay? It takes time, it takes many repetitions, but, make the process fun by having like a cup of tea nearby, some flowers, pictures of your grandkids, whatever lights you up. Make your practice into something you look forward to. You're very welcome. Thank you. So, they make smaller guitars. Yes, I have one of those. I'll share it next time. So, this is the way, Rob, you get your strumming faster, by doubling. All right. Someday we'll do a whole thing just on super fast strumming. But this is the gateway to it. All right, you take this. So you take 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. So just practice doubling things, and you could do the same thing with scales. Doubling the speed. Very common thing in music practice. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Got some great comments. Appreciate you joining me, everybody. Let's move on to the rest of today's lesson. So glad you're here. Up and down. We've kind of already covered this so far, but just alternating up and down strums. And but let's go a little deeper by getting into the accents. Now, this lesson, I called it a beginner's lesson, but as you can see, everything that I try to teach multiple levels at once. All right, so especially since we're not in the same room. What I'm going to share with you right now is something that could be considered much more of a intermediate or even advanced intermediate level, but you can learn it. You can learn it today if we know how to break it down. What we're going to do is we're going to explore accents. And what we'll do is we will, pardon me while I write this really big. Okay, so we have one bar. This is 4/4 time. Okay, so we're counting 1 and, these are eighth notes, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and. Accents are the spice of life, right? Does anybody remember that product, Accent, wakes up food's flavor? Accents will wake up your music's flavor. We're going to put an accent on 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1. This is sometimes called a Caribbean strum. Sometimes it's called half clave. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Because we're using up and down strums, we almost don't need to write the arrows out. But let's do it anyway, okay? Let's draw out every arrow so it's very clear where the accents are. This lesson will be available for you to watch anytime. Hope you subscribe to the channel. If you enjoy this, there are links down below if you'd like to join the Patreon community. There's all kinds of bonus lessons every month with your support, okay? We're putting the accent on 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I'm going to circle those accents with a red marker. Okay, it's on 1, the and of 2, and on 4. Now, our goal is eventually to play this in a very free way, keeping our wrist light. All right, and there's all kinds of ways that once it's internalized, I'm adding other little nuances to it. If we're willing to just go slowly, you'll get this quicker. Mute your strings, please. Thank you. Count it out. We got to first get the brain around it. Ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So say this with me, and we're going to say 1 and 4 louder, and we're going to strum it a little louder. Everything else very, very light. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and stop. Cool. How does your fingertip feel? Does it feel like it's on fire? Did you knock your ukulele with your finger? That's okay. You're making progress. You're showing up. There's 10,000 things you could have done right now with this hour. You're spending it with your music. And thank you for spending it with me. So we take a break, we breathe in, and we do it again. Remember, if you can say it, you can play it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. There's 3 accents across the bar. Before we strum it again, try this exercise. Clap it and say it. Come on with me. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Jagga dagga 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Barbara, this definitely is a skills lesson. And 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Pineapple, pineapple, apple, pineapple, pineapple, apple, pineapple, pineapple, apple, pineapple, pineapple, apple. So, put your timer on your phone. Do this for 2 minutes every day for a week. And then tell me how it is. For real, let me know. Now, I'm going to go a little faster. Let's flow with it. Pineapple, pineapple, apple, pineapple, pineapple, apple, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And just feel those 3 accents. Ba, 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 all right. Now, if you dig this groove, I have an entire course about, it's a mini course at my website, all about Caribbean rhythms. Check it out, stufuchs.com. Let's strum it now. We can play a simple 2-chord song, the same chords we use for jambalaya, and now we'll be able to really have a very hip rhythm with it. Check it out. Okay, so I'm muting on every stroke except for the accents. If that's tricky for you, you start just all muted. Yeah, David, do pineapple, pineapple, apple, like this. Pineapple, pineapple, apple, pineapple, pineapple, apple, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 2 and 4. All right, so let's just play the tune now. It'll be like this. We have F for 2 bars, C7 for 2 bars, another 2 bars of C7, and another 2 bars of F. These are the chords for All Day, All Night, Marianne, Jambalaya, many, many other songs from not only American folk traditions, but many Caribbean folk traditions, English, Irish, Scottish folk traditions as well, okay? This is a good chord progression to know. Let's check it out. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All day, all night, Marianne. Down by the seaside, sifting sand. Even little children love Marianne. wrist is loose. That's a tricky strum. So, just to recap, and please watch this again. We first satisfied the mind's curiosity. We got to understand it intellectually. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. As soon as the brain gets that, put it in the body by using your voice and your hands. The original instruments you came into the world with, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You can count it, and you can just say pineapple, pineapple, apple, pineapple, pineapple, apple. All right. Toronto, Toronto, New York. Find words that work for you. Lastly, we start to put it onto the instrument, and we have a much more advanced thing going on here where we're strumming and then we're muting the chords. All right. Everything feels light in time. It takes time, of course. You can get this. You can get this. I appreciate you hanging with this. As usual, I'm probably over teaching, but it's because I want, I like to share with people gateways of going deeper. Okay, not only the surface, which is important, but to go even deeper, or to think about it the other way, not only the roots and the foundations, but the branches that come from it. And the branches in this strum are... All right, that mute is very light. All right, the strum is very light. Hang with it. You can do this. You can do this. All right, friends, we just got a few more quick things before we wrap up. Last one is swing versus straight feel. Now, this could be an entire session between swing and straight feel. When we're playing eighth notes, they can be even or they can be swung. Okay? If you would like to take a screenshot of this, you can do it later when you watch it. Because what we're going to do right now is we're going to show the difference between swing eighth notes and straight eighth notes. They look the same. But they sound very different. These ones are all wobbly. Now you know why I create so many PDFs for my channel, because they're neater. So when we count this, it can sound like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, and that would be like dun, dun, straight eighth notes. When I wake up, well, you know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and dividing that beat in half. Okay? Classical music typically has even eighth notes. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, Chuck Berry. Good old 4 on the floor rock and roll. Okay, whether you play it all down strums or down and up, it has an even feel. The swing eighth note, however, is different. Swing eighth note is based on a triplet. Okay, so what it sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Where the eighth note is not even, it's divided up in a way where the first one is longer, the last one is shorter. And there's a simple formula to how that comes about. Each one of these eighth notes is like a triplet. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But we're not strumming number 2. Okay? So I'm going to write this back in here. And here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to clap on 1 and 3. And this will immediately give you the swing feel. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Ready? Join in with me. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Let's do it a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And there is the gallop, the swing, the shuffle, a lot of different ways that this is expressed, but it has the same sound. The eighth note is essentially a triplet with the first two parts of the triplet all weighted on the first half of the eighth note, okay? So it comes down to swing is even. Eighth notes, straight eighth notes are even. Swing eighth notes are uneven. Long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long. Okay? We'll get into this in a future lesson for sure. And finally, to nail or not to nail. I receive a lot of questions about whether to use fingernails or not. I made an entire video about nail care. You can see it at my channel. I have this nail kit I've had since 1996, I want to say. Different nail files, 2000 grade sandpaper. There's all kinds of ways that you can care for your nails, make sure that you have a smooth edge to them. The thing is about nails and strumming, you don't need them. You don't. You have fingernails most likely. You don't need long fingernails to make a good tone. If you do use fingernails and if you do grow them out a little bit, you'll want to care for them. That video that I made, you can find it at my channel. Just search nail care when you get to the video page. And you'll see that you can shape the nail in a manner where it doesn't get caught on the string, and you have to care for it in a way where there are no sharp edges that get caught on a sweater, or in dry weather you break a nail. Okay? I just broke my thumbnail off recently. Gardening, tilling the earth on outside my home to grow some squash. So caring for your nails is key if you're going to play with them. If you do use them, you get a little brighter tone, and you can do more crisp kind of strumming and picking. Fingernails to play anything that I just played, but the fingernail allows the string to have more of a crisp sound. Okay? These are the 6 main points that I wanted to go over in this live stream. As you can see, there's a lot to share with each one. Every one of these is really a whole world to explore. Please check out the link down below where you can get this for free. Just download it. There are also links down there if you want to check out the blues course. There's a 20% discount the entire month of May. Many thanks to everybody who supports this channel on Patreon. I appreciate you being here very much. There are a lot of nuances that we share for patrons the second Sunday of every month. This next live stream will be next Sunday for patrons. It's a Q&A session. It'll be on Mother's Day, so I'm not sure how many folks will be here, but after I serve breakfast in bed to my honey, I'll be joining you, and I hope you can join me as well. So, friends, I hope that you enjoyed this lesson. There's a lot to share with all of these, and I appreciate you hanging with some of the more difficult things that I was sharing. Sue, yes, these do look like legs. Steve, thank you very much for joining me. Body percussion, yes, Andre, totally, man. Absolutely, body percussion. So true. So the right hand is a tricky thing. And, we were really just scratching the surface of what you can do with counting and using a metronome. But that trick of doubling the time, 1, 2, and feeling that it's a downstroke, and then double the down. Down, 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 to go from eighth notes, 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a, right? And then those accents, just whipping the strings a little more with the wrist. So, friends, let's put our ukuleles aside just for a few minutes of mindful breathing. Appreciate you being here. Hope you'll check the links down below. Thank you so much. If you haven't already, please sit with your feet on the floor. And what we're going to do is very, very simple. But just like the foundations of music are simple, but allow everything to grow on top, this simple practice is really the basis for I have found for finding a lot of inner peace, especially during stressful times. What we're going to do is close our eyes and just begin to pay attention to our in-breath and our out-breath. You can listen to the bell as it rings into silence, following your breath in and out. After everything we just did together, all the stimulation, let's just settle ourselves once again. Bring your attention to your in-breath and your out-breath. To help you to anchor yourself in your breathing and the present moment, you can use a gatha, which is a practice poem. So as you breathe in, internally, you can say to yourself, breathing in, I know that I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I am breathing out. And the shortened version, simply in and out. Breathing in, I follow my in-breath from beginning until its end. Breathing out, I follow my out-breath from beginning until end. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, I calm my body. I feel my muscles relax from the top of my head, through my face and jaw, to my shoulders, spine, belly, my sit bones, my legs, feet, and toes all settle. Breathing in, I calm my body. And breathe in such a way that you feel yourself soften Breathing out, I feel at ease. Just for these moments, just for these few moments together. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Simply connecting and coming home to the body. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I feel at ease. Calm, ease. Breathing in, I smile. I smile to life. I smile to my difficulties. I smile to the joys. Breathing in, I smile. Breathing out, I release. I let go. Letting go just for this moment of any plans, projects, anything pulling me into the future. Breathing in, I smile. Breathing out, I release. Smile, release. Training yourself in concentration with a light hand, with a gentle approach. When thoughts or bodily sensations carry you away to the future or to the past, just come back home. Come back home to the here and now with kindness. And return to the loving awareness that you are. Even if you've gone away 1,000 times, come home. Come home again and again. Breathing in, I dwell in the present moment. Breathing out, I know this is a wonderful moment. Present moment, wonderful moment. This 5-part gatha can bring us home in just one breath. In, out. Deep, slow. Calm, ease. Smile, release. Present moment, wonderful moment. in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. If you're still with me, it's just 2 chords, C and F. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe. And let's take it home. Thank you for joining me. Next time I'll make sure the loop pedal is set up not to totally distort on the downbeat. It's another thing to smile and release to. Thank you very much if you hung out all the way to the end. I so appreciate you being here. Thank you very much, Sue, for your generous support. I wish you all very well. Be sure to watch this video again because there's a lot that we shared in these strumming tips. I hope that the meditation, in, out, deep, slow, calm, ease, smile, release, present moment, wonderful moment serves you well. It's a gatha from Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh and the Plum Village tradition. So much love to the Plum Village community around the world, and much love to you all as well. I'll see you sometime soon here at this channel, Ukulele Zen. Happy playing, happy jamming. Check the links down below to keep in touch, and I hope you'll subscribe to this channel. Thanks very much, and wishing you a beautiful, beautiful May 1st. Happy playing. Thanks.